John Locke, a name that resonates through the corridors of modern political thought, stands as a monumental figure who fundamentally shaped the principles of democracy and individual liberty. Born in 1632 in the pastoral countryside of Somerset, England, his early life was set against the backdrop of a nation in turmoil, a reality that would profoundly influence his philosophical inquiries. His father, a country lawyer and a captain in the parliamentary army during the English Civil War, instilled in him a sense of justice and a critical perspective on governance. Locke's intellectual journey began at Westminster School in London, a place that honed his classical education, but left him yearning for more practical and empirical knowledge. This thirst for understanding the world through observation and experience led him to Christ Church, Oxford, where he delved into the study of medicine and natural philosophy. At Oxford, Locke found the traditional scholastic curriculum to be stifling and uninspired, a rigid system of thought that failed to answer his probing questions about the nature of knowledge and existence. He was drawn instead to the new, revolutionary ideas of his contemporaries, such as the rationalism of René Descartes and the experimental science championed by the Royal Society. This intellectual rebellion marked the beginning of his departure from established dogma and the start of his quest to understand the human mind and its relationship to the world. His medical studies were not merely an academic pursuit. They provided him with a practical framework for observing, diagnosing, and understanding complex systems, a methodology he would later apply to his philosophical and political theories. A pivotal moment in his life came with his association with Anthony Ashley Cooper, the first Earl of Shaftesbury, one of the most influential political figures of the era. Locke served as Shaftesbury's personal physician, but their relationship quickly evolved into a deep intellectual and political partnership. Under Shaftesbury's patronage, Locke was thrust into the heart of English politics, gaining first-hand experience of the machinations of power and the struggle for political freedom. This period of his life was a crucible, forging his ideas on government, tolerance, and the rights of individuals. He witnessed the intense conflicts between the Crown and Parliament, the religious persecution of dissenting groups, and the constant threat of political instability. These experiences provided the raw material for his most important political works, which he began to formulate during his time with Shaftesbury. His involvement in the turbulent political landscape of Restoration England was not without its dangers. Shaftesbury's political fortunes were precarious, and his opposition to the absolutist tendencies of the monarchy eventually led to his exile. Locke, as a close associate, also fell under suspicion and was forced to flee to the Netherlands in 1683, a move that likely saved his life and gave him the time and space to complete his most famous works. It was during his exile in the Netherlands that Locke's philosophical genius fully blossomed. He completed his essay concerning human understanding, a groundbreaking work that laid the foundation for modern empiricism. In this monumental text, he famously argued that the human mind at birth is a tabula rasa, or a blank slate, devoid of any innate ideas. All knowledge, he contended, is derived from experience, from the sensory perceptions of the world around us and the reflections of our own minds. This radical idea challenged the prevailing notion of divinely implanted knowledge and had profound implications for education, religion, and the understanding of human nature itself. It suggested that individuals are not born with a predetermined station in life, but are shaped by their environment and experiences, a concept that would become a cornerstone of liberal thought. The essay was a declaration of intellectual independence, a call to question authority and to seek truth through reason and evidence. Simultaneously, Locke penned his two treatises of government, a work that would become the Bible of modern liberalism and a direct inspiration for democratic revolutions around the world. In the first treatise, he systematically dismantled the theory of the divine right of kings, a doctrine that had long been used to justify absolute monarchy. He argued that political authority is not granted by God, but is derived from the consent of the governed. This was a revolutionary idea, a direct challenge to the established order, and a powerful argument for popular sovereignty. The second treatise laid out his positive theory of government, a vision of a civil society based on natural rights and the rule of law. He posited that all individuals are born with certain inalienable rights, which he defined as the rights to life, liberty, and property. These rights are not granted by any government, but are inherent in human nature itself. The concept of natural rights is perhaps Locke's most enduring legacy. He argued that the primary purpose of government is to protect these rights, and that any government that fails to do so forfeits its legitimacy. This was a radical departure from the traditional view of government as an instrument of power and control. For Locke, government was a trust, a social contract between the rulers and the ruled, and the people had the right to dissolve it if that trust was broken. This right of revolution, though controversial, was a crucial element of his political philosophy, a safeguard against tyranny and a powerful assertion of the ultimate sovereignty of the people. He envisioned a government of limited powers, with a clear separation between the legislative, executive, and federative branches, a model that would later be adopted by the architects of the American Constitution. Locke's theory of property was also central to his political philosophy. He argued that individuals have a right to the fruits of their labor, and that by mixing their labor with the natural world, they acquire a right to property. This was not a defense of unlimited accumulation of wealth, as he also believed that one should only take as much as one can use before it's spoiled. The idea of property as a natural right was a powerful incentive for individual industry and economic development, and it became a key component of classical liberal ideology. His ideas on religious toleration were equally groundbreaking. In his A Letter Concerning Toleration, he argued for a clear separation between church and state, asserting that the government has no authority to meddle in matters of faith. He believed that religious belief is a matter of individual conscience, and that coercion in matters of faith is both immoral and ineffective. This was a powerful plea for religious freedom, a principle that would become a hallmark of modern democratic societies. The Glorious Revolution of 1688, which saw the overthrow of King James II and the establishment of a constitutional monarchy in England, was a vindication of many of Locke's political ideas. He returned to England in 1689, and his two treatises of government were published, providing a powerful intellectual justification for the new political order. His writings became a source of inspiration for a new generation of thinkers, both in England and across the Atlantic. In the American colonies, his ideas on natural rights, limited government, and the right of revolution resonated deeply with those who were growing increasingly dissatisfied with British rule. Thomas Jefferson, in drafting the Declaration of Independence, drew heavily on Locke's philosophy, and the famous phrase, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness is a clear echo of Locke's life, liberty, and property. The influence of John Locke on the development of modern democracy cannot be overstated. His ideas provided the intellectual ammunition for the American and French revolutions, and they continue to shape political discourse to this day. He was a visionary thinker who dared to challenge the established order and to imagine a world where individuals are free, equal, and sovereign. His philosophy is a testament to the power of reason, the importance of individual liberty, and the enduring quest for a just and humane society. He was not just a philosopher, he was an architect of the modern world, a man whose ideas laid the foundation for the democratic freedoms that many of us take for granted today. His legacy is a reminder that the struggle for liberty is a continuous one, and that the principles of democracy must be constantly defended and reaffirmed. John Locke, the philosopher who inspired democracy, remains a beacon of hope for all who believe in the power of freedom and the dignity of the individual.